Zig in the Zone with Ralph, Zig, Tyko.
Hey, Ziggy here. I'm a happy guy back in the zone with one of our favorite people, Paulie and I's favorite people, Melodye Mims Montgomery. How the hell are you?
You know, every day that I'm breathing is another gift, right?
Yeah.
I'll say that's 80% of it. Well, it scares me because we've had, in the last year, 5 or 6 of our key members of Comfortably Zoned have passed away. And I go on and wonder why, but it's pretty much in their name at this point. I'm an old guy, a senior, and Melodye and I have the same philosophy. Treat your seniors well and get them high. Tell us about what you do, Melodye. It's been a while since you've been here.
Okay, so I'm a co-founder of a group called Tokeland Senior Cannabis Club. And what we do is have a monthly meeting where we have a lot of brands that donate to us, and we give everything that's donated to us for free back to our senior community. This event started 9 years ago. There was about I'm thinking 17 of us at the very first meeting, and now we're probably hitting 125 people per event, and we have live music, and we have a large lounge that we're gifted, and we're just able to do a lot more and have a lot more offerings for our community right now. So that's what we do.
When you started this, did you have a dream, or did it of this being a reality, or did it just take shape little by little?
I never expected it was going to be this. I really didn't expect that it was going to be this. Over the years, I mean, I think that we're kind of like a shark that grows to the size of the tank you put it in. So we had a little tiny tank. We were a little tiny group, and as the tank grows, the group grows. And now we have the big, large lounge where we're at, rooted in the 510 over in Oakland, and they donate their lounge to us on a monthly basis. And so the shark has grown.
Tell us a little bit about Rooted in some of your partners there. We know that you couldn't do this without your partners.
I cannot do this without my partners, and I really should have a list, but so I'm reticent to start naming brands, because if I name brands and I leave one out, I feel very, very, as soon as we get off the phone, I'll be like, oh dang, I didn't say this, oh I didn't say that. But are some steady ones. We have Rooted in the 510. It is owned by people of color. It's an equity lounge, an equity dispensary, from the Oakland Equity Network. And so we support them wholly, and they've supported us wholly. We have a few of the larger ones that have supported us for the whole time is Jetty. Jetty Extracts and Oakland Extracts have always been behind us, no matter what we've done or where we've gone. Those two have followed us everywhere. Now we've gained a lot more brands. We probably have 15 brands or more. We have the entire Oakland Equity Network supporting us right now, with donations. And they've been a really a great support. They hold our hands. They remind us why we do things when we get upset or we start to feel tired. They remind us why we do things. I turned into the Oakland cannabis regulations Zoom meeting that they were having a couple of weeks ago, only to find Taryn from Oakland Extracts talking about Tokeland and saying what a great group it was and how we are the picture of what a community group looks like. And
Wow.
inviting their board to come see our events and come participate so that they would know when we talk about cannabis events, we're not just talking about places where you go and people are selling weed. It's not only about making money, it's about making community. And I tuned
Isn't it a
in.
beautiful thing when you walk into a room and someone's talking about you in a positive and beautiful way? Isn't
I,
that great?
all the things that he was saying, I couldn't have said better for us. Like if it was me standing up there, I wouldn't have been able to pitch Tokeland any better than he did. And it came so sincerely from his heart. And I think that that's one of the things that I love most about Tokeland is
Let me. Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off. Go ahead.
every single event that we have, there's at least 10 people that will come to each of our planning team and say how much fun they had, how they look forward to it every month, and that, many of them, this is the only social thing that they do. So, they wake up and they're like, what's today? It's Tokeland. Yes, we've been waiting a month for this. So we not only provide free weed for people and free music, but there's the sense of community and people have something to
Right.
look forward to every month where they gather with people, that love weed and music.
So,
Hey,
and I'm sorry, you were working hand in hand with Oakland. You still are. And so, let me ask you this: has the president's war on DEI trickled down to you guys at all?
We don't, since nobody gets paid for what we do, and we are already involved with equity networks, then his words are useless to us and just a bunch of
Yeah.
marshmallows.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. I
Just a
just wanted
bunch
to
of
make sure.
marshmallows.
Yeah, no, and I think we all have to do that in our own communities, our own neighborhoods, our own scene. And so I'm glad that you guys are standing firm on your beliefs and not letting the marshmallow push through.
Nah,
hey,
we actually
this word.
are.
Let me just say this. I may have the wrong word here, but you need to make a franchise out of this and put it in the 5 or 6 major communities in the state, and you already have a prototype of what works, and
So
not for money, just for being you.
I've had people reach out. Now, the unique thing about Tokeland and the area that it's in is it's Oakland.
Right.
Okay, in our whole state of California, how many cities can you name, Ralph, that all the people, not just, pardon me, not just the white people can walk down the
Yep.
street smoking a joint, but all the people could smoke a joint without fearing arrest.
Right.
Okay, without
That's
fearing harassment. So the
that's
thing that we have
absolutely
in,
true.
right? So the thing that we have in Oakland, because I've talked to people, um, in Oregon. I've talked to people in Washington. I've talked to people down south in California. The thing that is unique is that we are one of the rare communities. Oakland is one of the rare communities that put cannabis smoking as like the bottom on their I don't give a list. They,
Right.
as long as you're not standing on the corner slinging weed, they're not going to be harassing you that much. I do get it that they do hit the dispensaries, and we're not talking about dispensaries right now because I know that that's very bad,
Right.
and dispensaries have been hit.
Well, like you were just saying,
they're not-
where else can people walk down that? Where else can people of color walk down the street with a joint? And some of those communities that actually, let's say, okay, even just across the bridge from you is San Francisco. You can do that, but when you look at San Francisco, does San Francisco really need that outlet? It has so many other ways for people to get what they need there as far as activism and knowledge on the plant itself, right? It's the outlying places like you just mentioned, such and such Oregon, whatever Washington State. It's the little places, but then that comes into play.
and they're
These are
also
not free places to walk down the street. So
right in my head, those little places are probably the ones that could benefit the
the
most.
most, yeah,
The most from creating some type of community.
right,
So yeah, to your point about franchising, we've thought about it. I've talked to people about it. I literally, when people call me and they, how do you do what you do? I broke it down to them like, this is what we did from the very beginning. This is how we started. This is how it evolved, because the group wasn't just boom. There's a senior group. It came from a larger group of cannabis smokers. It came from First Fridays at the lake, right? First Fridays at the lake started as a community of just a few people, and like 13, 14 people. And then the next month there was 20 people, and then there was 30 people, and there was 50 people, and then there was 100 people. Before you knew it, there were brands and all kinds of businesses wanting to come to First Friday to support the event. So I think that we are in a unique community where we have cannabis. We love cannabis. They don't harass us too much about it as individuals. Let me say that, as individuals. Um, and it does provide that space that we can do something like Tokeland. It's all about the area, and if people don't have an infrastructure set up to support cannabis in any kind of way, then it's probably not going to work, and they're going to end up with smaller groups locking their doors and hiding behind blacked out curtains again, like we were doing back in the day, which is not the thing that we're trying to do here. So
right.
I always suggest to people, if they don't live in those areas, then they have to be activists. Make it that area. Like, Ralph, how much work we put in here in the city of Alameda, and how long it took us to break that moratorium and let dispensaries back here on the island. That was what, a
Oh,
2-3 year
Trish is one
project,
of my heroes. You and Trish are two of my heroes.
right? I mean, that was 2-3 year project that we worked on, talking to the people, hitting the streets, going to those events, getting signatures, showing up at city council, staying there till 1 o'clock in the morning, not accepting that they were going to push us to the next month. No, we're going to stay right here in these seats until you hear us today. So if you want a thing, you have to have that infrastructure. If you don't, then you have to go build that infrastructure. And that's what we did in Alameda. And I think that, it's very important. And I get that Alameda is not Oakland, but we're right next door. So we want to keep things cannabis in the same kind of feel. I
Well,
don't feel like we
we've
can
got
walk
it
down the
now
street
in
and
Alameda. We've got it now in Alameda. We have 4 clubs.
it's too many.
Can you?
There's too many. Like I feel like we went from none to too many. We're only an island this big.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And like when we first started this, and there was one club, when there was Embark and maybe Park Social on the other side, right? Too.
Right.
Both of those businesses got a lot of business. They really did. Every time you went in, there was a line. You had to wait. And now we have 4, and we see some of our businesses hardly seeing anybody in it. That's a concern for me. I get that I want everybody to be able to have a dispensary, but I also get that they have to look at market saturation. And if we put up too many dispensaries in one area, nobody's going to make any money and nobody's going to be able to continue doing what they do for us.
Is it consumer friendly? Is it consumer friendly having that many clubs that close? And I ask you that because less of a line, maybe they need to be more competitive with their pricing. I mean, I want our businesses to survive also, but is it also maybe a healthy balance between the two? Because we also want consumers that are not getting bogged down by the big guy. I won't use any big names, but there's big names that are dropping dispensaries, including one in Alameda that's a big name.
Yeah, there's two.
And it starts with an S and ends with an Izzy. So
and there's
I'm just
another one
saying.
starts with an N, ends in a G. So
Oh, really? Okay, got you.
so we have two. Our hometowns are Park Social and Embark, and everybody knows that they were the first two. They were the ones that worked really, especially Embark. They were the ones that the owners from Embark were the ones that showed up with us, Ralph. They were ones that were sitting down there at City Hall. They were ones getting signatures. They pushed hard. They did a lot of work to open it up for the rest of the dispensaries who came in later.
Right. So is it healthy to have some? I guess the question still stands. Is it healthy to have a competitive market a little?
I think a little, but I think that I literally think 4 is too many for our island, and I know people can get pissed that own it in Alameda, but I get to have my own opinion.
No,
and I just
think you're right.
on the fact from when I used to go into our dispensary on this side, and there was always a line. And then the more dispensaries that we have, there's like I can go in and out in 5 minutes because sometimes I'm the only person in there.
Right.
And then I think that there's also ethical purchasing.
Oh.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, please do.
I want to talk about that. Well, I don't purchase from companies that I know do shady shit.
Right.
Okay.
Straight up.
And that doesn't matter whether it's clothing, food, whatever I'm buying. I want to make sure that I'm buying, like there's certain clothing companies that are online all the time and people are buying from them. I went and looked them up, and these people are having child labor and things like that. And I'm like, I can't support that. So I will not purchase from certain companies. I will not purchase from certain cannabis businesses for the same reason.
Got you.
Ethical purchasing. We have to know who it is that owns the businesses, and we have to know why they own the businesses, and are they a part of the community or just a part of the money grab?
Right.
Good point.
So, is there a watchdog for that kind of stuff?
No, we have to be our own watchdogs for that kind of stuff. That's why community is so important. When I walk by one store that begins with S and ends in Izzy,
yeah,
you're
gonna start using that, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
I liked it so hard it stuck in my head, and I can't remember shit. Also,
there you go. All right, so when you
I
went
walk
by
that store, there's always a big line. There's always people in there, and that's because it's cheaper. I mean, it's literally cheaper, but is it better? Is it more tested? Have they failed more tests? Because, you have to look for things like, who are the companies that they're having in their building? And I get that money is important, especially today. But I also think that people aren't aware a lot of times of the people that they purchase from or the businesses that they support.
I get a lot of products given to me, and I know you do too, dear. I know that a lot of people hand you a pen or hand you something and go, oh, here, I want you to try this. It's for you. So I've been handed a lot of that starts with an S, ends with an Izzy product in the past. And it's funny because, I don't know, I would say 1 or 2 out of every 10 that I open, there's something wrong. The cap's off, it's leaking, the cartridge doesn't work. Oh, wow, that doesn't look like it's filled all the way. And then their product, you were just mentioning a really great product. One of your supporters for a long time, the fine people over at Jetty. The fine people over at Jetty turn out a beautiful product, right?
Yes.
I have to, at my age, it's all about quality, not quantity. So it's about what I'm putting into my lungs, not how much I
Yeah.
can put into my lungs. And so when you think of people like Jetty versus those other guys, you're like, wow, that's a world of difference. The quality of the product, even just the quality of the packaging and how they get it to you. Like I said, I can open 10 of those products from the other guys, and 2 of them will be messed up somehow. And I got to return it.
Yeah.
And then you have to explain it. And, that was 8 days ago, not 7 days ago. Well, I buy 4 cartridges at once. And by the
I
time I
just
get
got
to
to
that,
this one. Dang.
yeah,
Right.
I got the receipt. It's brand new. It's got your tag on it. The people over at that other company are going to take it back from you. So just take it back from me.
It's
But
almost
yeah,
like with these days with fast food, like when you go through fast food, if you have a special order and you have to,
yep,
when they hand you your bag, while you're still sitting at the window, you have to open your bag and look in that burger to make sure they didn't
yep,
put cheese on it or they didn't. You
yep.
have to do the same thing now. You literally, when you open your stuff, especially pins, especially vape pins, open them before you leave, and check that they're not leaking. That's one of the main
And
things
that
that
they
I found.
work. And so here's the other thing is I returned a pen not long ago because it wouldn't work. It was full. It wouldn't work. And they said, "Oh well, we saw when you bought it. You bought it exactly 7 days ago, so it has to be done today." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." They said,
Let me
"Okay,
speak to your manager.
They said, "Prove it doesn't work." And I go, "What do you mean?" And they go, pretend to take a puff off of it." I go, "So what if it works? I've just smoked in the middle of your cannabis club, which out here in the valley, they'll get shut down. If you smoke in one of these
Yeah.
clubs, there's no VIP lounge, there's nothing like that." And I'm like, what if it was intermittent and had some default that, oh yeah, every 5th hit, it works? I would have blown out a big old fog in your club and wouldn't have been pretty.
And then
And if
everybody
it's
else would be
full,
breaking out their pins trying to take hits.
right.
Hey,
So yeah,
Melody,
it doesn't make sense. Go ahead, Zig. We've been cutting you
let
off
me
because
let me just interject something. My main bugaboo when we got the legalization to allow clubs in the first place was that before that it was sold as, when it goes through, we're going to hire union workers. And it's been how many years? These a lot of clubs just in the East Bay that need union assistance, like they're workers like everybody else, and they're subject to disagreement with management. And now disagreement with management for a bud tender
yeah.
is you're coming up against the owners, and it's just like any other business from that respect. Can we hope for a union presence in my lifetime?
Before Melody
Hurry up.
answers this, I want to throw in my 2 cents. I don't know if we want unionization as much as we just want continuity in bud tending. But I think that since Oaksterdam, especially here, that's helped us a lot. But you're right. There needs to be maybe some credentials. You shouldn't just be going in and selling snake oil, right? You should know what the hell you're selling. You should know what the hell it's doing for your patients. You should have some knowledge. You're right. You shouldn't just go from serving up your triple mocha to serving up buds if you don't know anything about it. But Melody,
And the
we would love to
workers,
hear
I
your
think, I'm
and
not
the
sure, but
workers should be paid at a fair
yeah,
price. That's
okay,
I
all.
that's where I
agree.
thought
I
you were
agree.
going.
I agree. I
All right,
agree.
so here's the deal. Here's a lot of things that we have to think about. Yes, that would be wonderful. Let's start with yes. That would be wonderful. Then let's go to what other trade or business do you know that's unionized that has so many rules and regulations
Yeah.
built into it that the companies can't survive, that they're barely surviving just to
Yeah.
do business. Um, I,
And
I'm
also,
always
isn't
for
that where
unions, but
government
I
comes in?
also, I
Government comes
pardon?
in too. That's where government comes in too, right?
Yeah,
We're
that's
talking about
especially where the
alcohol.
government
We're talking
has.
about alcohol.
We're especially talking about the government because we have so many rules and regulations that the basic potato or tomato farmer does not have to follow to grow their product. So that as
Ag.
the
Yeah.
so everything that's involved, all the things, all the layers of the legalization process has led to a place that it that dispensary owners aren't making the millions of dollars that everybody thinks they are. Okay,
Right.
they're barely making it. Like they're making it, but they're barely making it, and they're not putting a lot of money in their pockets like people think that they are. And so, yes, I would love to see a workforce that was paid more equitably. Um, but
That's all.
but I think there's so many. I mean that should be a part of the ethics and morals that we have within our community. Because it's going to be hard to pull in unions. I think that there's a lot of people that can talk to you better about unions and unionization. One of them would probably be Ed Breslin from External, and he's very he'd probably be a good person for you guys to have on here and give a talk to.
Hey, on a positive note, um, I harken back to your alma mater in Oakland, if you will, Amsterdam, and how it's my opinion this Amsterdam had a major part in making this what it is. Would you elaborate on that and what you got out of going there and how much it influenced you?
Uh, wait, break them down because that was a lot, Ziggy. That was a lot.
Tell us how instrumental Oaksterdam has been in your history.
Okay, we just that's a good one. Um, when I first went, I thought, well, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna listen to some people, and I know all about the weed. I know all about everything about weed, and so this is gonna be really easy for me to go in this class. I'm gonna ace this, and then I went in there and I was like, oh God, there's homework. Oh God, there's reading. Oh man, there's history. Okay, it wasn't just reading about the plant; it was reading about prohibition and the politics that were surrounding that. It was there was a lot of reading, there was a lot of knowledge. And so then I found myself doing all these extra credit projects, and those involved going outside of school to other organizations, other places, listening, volunteering, attending meetings. And I went over to Dr. Frank Lucido's, and he was doing an activist thing, and he was up there speaking about the weed and how it was, he was a doctor and he was signing reps for people. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to be more active, more active in it. And so my activism probably popped off there, because Oaksterdam literally made us go do extra credit projects. And
Right.
and within that, and within the people that I began to know there at the school, we created long lasting friendships and long lasting communities. It's been what, 12 years since I went to Amsterdam, I think. Um, and I have friends to this day that, like, I just hung out with a couple days ago that were classmates at Amsterdam. One of my classmates at Amsterdam is my most loyal and most active volunteer. He picks up he picks up myself, and he picks up my one of my other planning team members, and he makes sure we get to the meetings on time. He carries things, he lifts, he drags us around every place we need to go, and he lifts and carries and fetches and gets everything that we need, and we just keep him running all over the place. But back to the point, I met him at Oaksterdam. So I'm not sure which was more valuable for me, what I learned at Oaksterdam or the people that I met and how I learned about community there. That I was going to Oaksterdam when I got my first phone call from Chris Phillips, who said, "Do you want to judge the
Lost
upcoming
your
HempCon
mic
event?" And I was
there.
like, "I do."
You lost it.
I'm so excited about that. So being a part of Oaksterdam opened up many roads and many paths for me. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's so much the knowledge that you learn at Oaksterdam or what you build there. And when you go to Oaksterdam, you have a long like if you go now, there's a long sense of history with a lot of people in the Bay Area that are alum, right? And so you if you come from out of state, you kind of already have a built-in place that you can reach out. Like there's have a Facebook group for people that have gone to Oaksterdam. Um, so I feel like that again, I'm not so sure that it's all about the knowledge you learn at the class, but what you take with you and how it opens you up to learn more and go find out what you need to do for yourself and what you want to do. Because they put you on a lot of freaking adventures.
Paulie, any
Yeah.
questions to the dear lady?
No, I see everything that's happening, and it's a beautiful thing that you keep this momentum going with Tokeland seniors. It takes a village, right? It
It
seems
does.
like.
I do not do this on my own. It takes an entire village, and besides the planning team, we have Rooted who donates, and then they actually have their staff that comes through the lounge while we're having our party, and they clean tables for us, and they clean up messes, and they pick up,
Wow.
and Miss Plachette is always like always coming to us. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? Do you need anything? Can I help? There's not only do we have a wonderful home, but they staff it for us, and the staff that works there treats us like family. So it's a wonderful place to be. I'm so happy to be there. One of the things that I did want to say is that we've added an extra event, Ralph. Let's talk about Fifth Friday.
If you
Ooh.
would.
So Tokeland for the last 9 years, we're third Friday. We've been the third Friday since the beginning, first day, and we've stayed on the third Friday all the way through. Since we've been there, they've now asked us if we wanted to come. Rooted wants and our bands and everything wants us to do a fifth Friday event. So whenever there's an extra Friday in the month, we will also be doing an event. The first fifth Friday was last month, and we did a glow in the dark black light coloring event where we brought out the old school black felt posters, and we brought black light markers and different colors, and we had black lights going up above, and we had black light tables set up, and it was such a fun event. We didn't do a band. We just played music, and we played what we wanted to play, and we kept it real chill. And it was a whole different, and it literally made people do something that we like. You had to get up from your chair where you were coloring and go to another table to see if they had more colors, and you had to be involved, and you had to go around and talk to people if you wanted things like, and there was a lot more mixing of people, and there was a lot more talking going on, and we just had such a wonderful time, and we're going to be doing that type of thing. I don't know, can you see this one?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, so people were doing all kinds of different glow glow in the darks. I think because we have too many cameras going on, I don't know if you guys can see the color on it or
Oh
not.
yeah. That's cool.
Um, but we have all, just so many people. People wore, glow in the dark shirts,
Oh
and
yeah.
we just sat around and colored. And one of our attendees came up and he said, "I feel like I'm in kindergarten all over again." And you know what a rush that is to have a 70, 80-year-old person tell you they felt like they were in kindergarten and having so much fun all over again.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay,
That's
so that was flashback
yeah.
night. We also did a joint rolling contest like the old days. Like you had to hand roll it, no stuffing in the cones, no machines. You had to grind it. Well, we ground it up so everybody had an even grind for the whole thing. But we had a joint rolling contest. So we're gonna try to do a little
Nobody
different
did
things.
anybody come up with a red roller that
No, because we
a
made
little piece of
announcements,
can.
and I know what you're talking about, but we made those announcements clear. This is no machines, fingers only.
Oh, good.
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
So that was fun, and people came up and they were all watching everybody and their technique, and who wanted the longer papers and who wanted the shorter papers, and some people wanted double their papers, and everybody has their own technique of how to roll their own favorite joint. So that was a really good time. So we will now be doing Fifth Fridays as well. Third Friday and Fifth Friday, you will find us at Rooted. Fifth Friday will probably be more targeted event times.
right,
Okay.
right. You never get tired of growing, do you?
You can't. You have to keep the people
Yeah,
happy,
nice.
and I have to stay happy. And when you do something the exact same way for 2 years in a row, you just be like, okay, can we mix it up a little bit? Oh, also another change. Um, when we have live bands, it's also hard. It's often hard for us to control the volume, and seniors sometimes have sensitive ears. So what we're doing is we're extending the event. Our third Friday event is going to be longer. It's going to go now from 4 o'clock till 9:30, and from 4 to 8, or from 4 to 7, we'll have a DJ, or we'll be playing music through the system. And then we'll do the raffle at 7, the free raffle, of course, at 7. And then at 7:30, we'll have a live band, and the live band will play from 7:30 to 9, because people really like the live music. And so we're going to give an opportunity for people to have a chill event, and then we're going to turn it up a notch at the end. So if people want to stay when it's a little louder and it gets a little spicier, then we're going to offer them that as well.
You are really terrific. I'll bet you work every day on this.
A little bit, a little bit. I mean, it's always in my
Yeah,
head. What can we do? How can we fix it? There's always phone calls, texts. I don't work long every day, but yeah, a little bit every day. Um,
yeah. Keeps you
it's my
young.
joy. It's my joy.
Yeah.
It,
Um,
it makes
I
me
feel
happy.
that way. I feel that way about my podcast, and I know exactly how you feel. You get the word out there.
Um,
Whatever it is cathartic.
it,
Whatever
it
that
really
word is.
is. I had to I, I had to a few weeks ago. I had to stop because the event gets so big, and sometimes I'm just so busy doing stuff, just like and there'll be a crisis here and a crisis there, and so you got to just keep it moving. And people they touch me, tap me on the shoulder, Melody, 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 or just go by and they rub me on the back, or they want to hug me, or just touching, touching, touching. And sometimes I get over energized and I'm like, what? And then I had to take a step and realize that every time somebody touches me, that's an extension of their heart. Okay. So they come to get close so they can touch me and give me love because they're thankful. They're thankful. And
Yeah,
people in this group did not give thanks without giving touch, apparently. So
yeah,
thanks come with touch. They come with just, a grabbing of their hand, a touch on the shoulder, a hug. They come with all of those things. And so I really had to remind myself that's exactly why I was doing this to begin with, so that everybody would have what they have. And that, why am I getting so pissy? Because people are coming to me trying to express that was the exact ending that I was looking for. And so, yes, it's a lot of energy, and sometimes I feel like it takes a lot of energy from. But then when I realized what was happening, I realized that I could grab some energy too from all of that.
That's right.
So
Comfort and care come in many forms, right? Comfort
yes,
and care come in many
yes.
forms, and we have to understand that people express themselves in different ways. So,
Yes, and so and so like I did have like one night where I was just like, oh my gosh, so many people are touching me, and by the end of the night I was like, why are you so freaking, why are you doing this? You've been doing this for all these years and it's never bothered you before. But I think the extent of people, the numbers, like you've been doing this for all these years, but you were doing it for 15 people, and then you were doing it for 25 people, and then okay, so then the extreme amounts of 125 people, it was a big bump. Um, but-
Combining those feelings with good Jay, and
right.
now you got something.
And so now every
That-
time somebody comes to touch me, I just smile and take that in and accept the love that they're giving me, because that's why we do it, is so that people feel loved and feel community. And they're just telling us that they're feeling that. I've had so many people come to me, Ralph, and literally tell me this is what I wait for every month. This is the thing that I do. I don't go to other parties. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't go to bars. I do this. I do this.
all right.
nice.
So now it's not only the third Friday of every month; it's the fifth Friday of
It's
every
the fifth
month.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, and
Did
make
you
sure
say
you guys
six?
so hot. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead,
think she
Zig.
said sixth.
No, I said fifth.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Third and
That's
fifth.
good.
All right,
Good.
so
Hey,
third and fifth Fridays, Tokeland Seniors. Tell us where to catch everything that Tokeland Seniors does, please.
You we have a Facebook page where we post all our events. It's T capital T apostrophe Oakland. And as soon as you write in that, it should come up with Tokeland Senior Cannabis Club. So you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow me personally on Facebook. I post all the events. On Instagram, since we do not have an IG presence, the most of the IG presence comes from the board. So you could follow me, or you could follow Devlin, and we do most of the posting, and we hashtag it. So look for the hashtag Tokeland Senior Canna.
There you go.
beautiful.
And if you look for the hashtag so Tokeland Senior Canna, you will find us, and you will see the posts, and you will see the upcoming events. And so that's how you find us on Insta, and on Facebook. We have our own presence.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Hey, Paulie, take time out for a minute and do some business for us.
All right, here we go. That sounds good. Guys, as you know, here at Zig in the Zone, we pride ourselves on surrounding ourselves with the best people, and that includes our lawyers and representation. With that said, please go and patronize these fine establishments. Whether it's criminal defense, estate planning, or civil litigation, the answer is the law offices of Andrew Doja. Call us today at 510-865-1600 or find us on the web at dojalaw.com.
For tenant and landlord disputes, there's no other than the law office of Jeff Canberra. Call now 1-510-865-7369, and don't forget to tell them Zig sent you.
You having a Zig moment?
Stoner.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you about Head Start. Basically, the purpose of Head Start, as I see it, is to enrich children's lives. and specifically by helping them develop a passion. Doesn't have to be ganj, doesn't have to be baseball. Whatever it is, a passion will get you through life on some way that isn't tangible, but you'll know it when you experience having a lifelong passion. So, what I'd like you to do out there, on behalf of Comfortably Zoned, is to wrap up some lightly used or new children's books and take them to whatever community you live in, the Head Start program, and they will gladly appreciate what you do. They'll give you a tax write-off, and you will help the world through helping children. How bad is that? Yeah, I can see your applause, Melodye.
There you go.
So
The
that's
Head Start program. The Head Start program. Programs help children get ready to succeed in school and in life, early development, health and wellness, family well-being, as well as family engagement. As Zig says, give a child a book, and you're giving them the gift of literacy.
yeah.
There you
Hey,
go.
that's what I mean by getting the word out, Melodye. We each have our separate ways of getting satisfaction out of what we do, and I get very much satisfaction out of having you as a guest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I enjoy being
Okay.
here, especially since you moved it till noon. That's way better for me.
Yeah, noon
And
is
I will
better.
mention this. So during our break, I was giving you guys stuff off cue, and I was saying, hey, go to your commercial, Zig, and I couldn't remember the commercial we've been doing for over a year. And you guys had joked off mic, too, that, oh, it's because you're a cannabis smoker. No, it's because my vape pen stopped working. And so I have been doing this entire show as straight as possible, which is the worst way to do this show. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry too. I'm just.
Did it stop working because it died, or it was out of battery?
So both batteries didn't work, which makes me think it's the cartridge. And it's still half full. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to return that one. So there you go.
You guys are so new age with your product. I just enjoy opening the bag, putting a little bit in the pipe, and making sure it's clear, and then having a good whiskey. I'm a simple guy.
That works too, Zig. But everything in its place, because some places you can't you can't have combustion. So it's nice. I carry my vape pen around with me too. I'm always carry my vape pen just in case we're someplace where you can't combust.
No question. And I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you and Paul the same question. Is there harm in vaping?
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
If you're vaping certain products, there are charts out there. Let me say this: that before anybody buys a vape pen, they should Google vape pen tests, recent vape pen tests. You usually come up with some charts, and they'll give you lists of companies who pass all the time and who all the time fail. So
beautiful.
So, buy from the companies who pass all the time, not from the ones who fail all the time.
And
I may not have the answers, but I have the great questions.
Right. And then you also want to pay attention to what's in your vape pen. We don't need added terpenes. We don't need food grade terpenes. We don't need anything in the pen except for the actual cannabis oil itself. Anything
Right.
additional to that, we don't know if it's okay to smoke food grade terpenes for a long time. So you get those pins that taste like watermelon or berry or whatever the fruit flavor is, bubble gums. We don't know. We haven't had them long enough to know what those flavors do if you smoke them long enough. And they originally weren't made for smoking; they were made for eating. So, so just be
Hey,
cautious when you're buying big
when
pins.
you're 80 like me, you don't have to worry about long-term effects. You might think, but
No, you still
reaching,
do.
yeah,
You got
I
a good
know,
20 more years, dude. We
I
want to get
do.
all of our years. Every minute we have coming to us, we want to get that minute.
I,
I'll say this. I'll say this, that maybe it's a little bit more important for us. It's because we only have so many years we want every minute.
And
And
right,
I will say this. So no matter what, even if you get the finest grade stuff and they put it in a cartridge, even if it's like live rosin or resin or something, and there's very little distillate added, just enough to be able to smoke it, you still have other things that you're contending with. Most of these have some sort of coil that's made from copper. There's other additives like Melodye had just said about, different terps and different flavors they're putting in, and we don't know. We're not going to know about any of that stuff until 20 years down the line when they say, you know what? They're telling us now that the pipes we used when we were growing up in our 20s, the little metal ones with all the little
no fun.
parts.
oh, they're
Yeah, you
bad.
got, what is it, Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or whatever from it, and it's because you're smoking through a copper pipe.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
again, be aware of what you're putting into your body. As Ralph said, probably the best way to go is with natural flower. I know people that if you try to hand them a lighter or a match, they say no way. They want their hemp rope, their little hemp string to light stuff.
Yeah.
I get it. And so whatever your bag is, just take care of yourself. Make sure you can live with it. And thanks for joining us again, Melodye. It's always cool hanging out with you, dear.
you are so
you.
fucking cool.
Thank you. I think the same about y'all.
Thank
Oh,
you.
nice. I'm glad you had fun. We'll get this on today and send you a link to it.
All right. Well, Paul,
Yes, dear.
I'm going to take a hit for you.
Oh, thank you. Let's see that one. Let's see it. Thank you. And again, if you didn't get enough of Melodye Mims Montgomery, you can come see her on a third or a fifth Friday. It's the Tokeland Seniors Group. They're rooted. They're rooted in Oakland, folks. Check them out. Lots of great seniors. Go get your vibe on. Go dance, listen to some music, eat a little food, and just talk and hang out with us. We're just seniors. We're just seniors. We won't bite. Well, we might.
Whatever.
More of a nibbling than a bite.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, you're coming to the seniors, so you better come right because we can buy it because.
And remember this about seniors, ladies and gentlemen, that old stew, old meat makes the best stew.
Oh gosh.
Just,
jeez.
I don't know.
That's a good way to end this
that
one.
sounds very appetizing.
I didn't say. I'm sure I didn't say it right, but I will next week. I'm going to rehearse.
All right.
Thank you, Melodye.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Paul, for a good job.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
inviting me. As always, I enjoy your both company, and I always look forward to doing this podcast.
Oh, heartwarming, let me tell you. No shit.
Beautiful, my dear. Thank you very much, guys. As Ziggy says, until next week, stay zoned in the zone. We're out of here, guys. We'll see
That's
ya.
what Ziggy says. That's what he says, all right?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.